Get your raffle tickets for sale.
There's John. This is you. Look at that. See that nice logo on it? It was March the 15th, but I wasn't in town. So they don't let you forget, you know, because they want the money. 83, sir. Yeah. Look at the flowers they brought for us.
Let's get some lunch. Fight or flight? What? Fight or flight? There you go.
Luke, you didn't get the memo. Hello, Doctor.
Nice to see you again.
Okay. I got 30 seconds.
Get your raffle tickets for sale.
Please go and get your lunch, enjoy the conversation, the companionship, and we'll start the meeting in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much. And of course, as Dan says, go and buy your raffle tickets.
Please buy your raffle tickets.
Actually, Dan, you and I could have a good conversation across the room.
Go ahead.
We're right. Well, how many raffle tickets have you got left to sell?
I got as many raffle tickets as people have money.
Well, people go and buy some raffle tickets.
Last call for raffle tickets. Get your raffle tickets.
Raffle tickets. It's not too late. Raffle tickets. Come buy some.
I'm the birthday boy. That's. Later on, I'll have you meet.
Last chance for raffle tickets.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I always like to see how long it takes her to see if I'm there. Today's inspiration. We just got done with a whole ton of rain, and I thought it was super interesting with the whole ton of rain that we start looking at how we kind of have problems. So when you have problems, you have two kinds of things that happen in rainstorms. As an insurance guy, I'm aware of leaky ceilings, but then we also have muddy puddles. So when you're looking at your problems, do you have muddy puddles or do you have leaky ceiling? If you have a muddy puddle and you think it's a problem, you leave it alone and you let it clear. Because the more you mess with it, the muddier it gets. You tend to overthink or worry about it. So if you have a muddy puddle, you take a walk, get some sleep, let the puddle clear. But if you have leaky ceilings, you ignore it, it gets worse. You got relationships, tension unaddressed, overspending that becomes a habit, a missed workout that you suddenly don't go to the gym for months and months and months. Those are leaky ceilings. Those need to be addressed. So if you're looking at life and you're dealing with rainstorms, you got to look at whether your problems are leaky ceilings or muddy puddles and make that choice. So I kind of like that.
Very inspirational. And I have to say that when you were saying muddy puddles, I kept thinking, muddy puddles, eh?
All right. Well, now I have the introduction of the guests. So from Phillipsburg, Montana, Rotary, District 55390, Dave Lee. Dave, would you stand? All right. And by the way, if you're a guest of this club, these are the people that are visiting. So you're out of town, you can have a seat. Thank you. These are local folks. If you're looking for a club, this is the best club, super fun club. We'd enjoy having you here today, but we'd also like to have you here permanently. So if you're looking for a place to plug in, make friends, make a difference, consider joining our club. So as a guest of John Doerr, Patty Doerr. Patty, would you stand? Guest of Bob Morgan, Patrick Murphy. Patrick? Guest of Mr. Bobby Larson, Brianna Henderson. Guest of Doug Lowell, David Cordero. David? Nice beard, dude. Guest of Gary and Candy Hirsch, Roxanne Holly. Roxanne? Guest of Leah Litsky. Wow, Leah has a guest. Brian Crawford. Brian? Guest of Pam Alexander, Minette Medlin Stapleton. Minette? Guest of Wally Johnson, Vaughn Thompson. Vaughn. And finally, guest of Gary Franks, Eric Lamb. Eric? Welcome all, and again, consider making this your home.
Don't you just love Dan? Absolutely. Right. It's now time for the program. Now, Diana Madeiras has been with us since June the 30th, 2021. Madeiras Gallery, and she went to the U of A. Fabulous artist. We all know her so very, very well. Little introduction is needed. She's fabulous. She does our service projects, and there's little more to say other than, here you go, Diana. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Margaret. I have just a couple items of business before I introduce our speaker. Our point winner for service clubs in March is Daryl Berkheimer. Is Daryl, you here? Daryl had 7 points in March. That means 7 days of service. That's terrific. So come see me afterwards and you get your $50 gift card to Fox Restaurants. So as you know, we have 14 service projects. Today I would like to add number 15. I know I need my head examined, right? But I was surprised when I found out what they do not really recycle in our recycle bin. And I don't know, maybe I was just the only one, but does everyone know what exactly they take and what they don't take? Some of you do. Well, when you recycle your plastic, and you know, try to be good citizens of the earth, right? And put all the recyclables in there. They only take pretty much plastic bottles. Everything else is put into the garbage dumps. So there are a couple Rotary clubs in Tucson that are proactive, and I would like to see, Margaret and I would like to see our Rotary club possibly, if we can get enough volunteers to help, Bring your recyclables to lunch on Wednesdays to the convention center, and we'll transport it to the recycle place for plastic. So anytime you get a plastic container, plastic wrapper, and I started to collect my plastic, I couldn't believe how much there was. Put it in a separate container, and we'll have you bring it here, and we'll take it to a recycle facility. There's a company called Bifusion, and they're taking the plastic and they're making recyclable building materials from it. And you don't have to clean it out, it's easy. So I want to know how many people will volunteer to either be on this committee or help, if you have a truck, transport. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dorena, can you write names down? It's Dot, Ernie, Nancy, Jeannie, Vicki? Oh, you already take it? Okay, Cindy. We need some guys with or girls with trucks too. Okay, so if you think about it afterwards, all you have to do is just drive by the recycle bin after Rotary. So we'll talk about that more. It includes plastic bags, all plastic. You can put your plastic bottles, your water bottles in your recycle bin, and your jugs, like a Clorox jug. We're looking at where the bins are, the drop-off. Does not have to be cleaned out. Nope, makes it easy. Okay, on to our speaker introduction. Carol Stewart is a force. She's vice president at the U of A Tech Park at Rita Road, and she's developing the UA Tech Park at the Bridges. She serves on 11 boards and is a member of many other organizations. She just returned from a trip to Brazil in her role as the North American Division President for International Association of Science Parks. She is a research park phenom whose expertise is sought after worldwide. She's helped other countries build and grow their university research parks, and at present she is especially active in Canada. That's because she's a native of Waterloo, Canada, where her husband and daughter still live, so she's commuting. And she's here on a work visa, so maybe in 3 years we're going to lose her, which we're very sad about. But her friends have talked about starting a blog titled, "Where in the World is Carol Stewart?" I know she likes to play golf in her spare time, which isn't often because she hasn't taken a real vacation in 5 years. And we at Rotary Club of Tucson are very appreciative, Carol, that you've taken the time to come speak with us today. So please help me welcome the internationally acclaimed Carol Stewart.
That was way overstated. But I'm very, very glad to be here. I'm going to look at this. What are you doing, Matt? Again, Carol Stewart. I'm a vice president at the University of Arizona. I am the CEO of 2 tech parks and president of the UA Center for Innovation. That's the sort of family tree. So you can see that we have our 30-year logo up there. The tech park is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, which is very exciting. Patrick, put your hand up. Key member of the team. I told him not to come, so that's what he gets. So this is obviously, so how many people have been out to the tech park at Rita Road? Love it. Amazing. Who would like a tour that has never been there? That's going to be a road trip. Anybody who wants it, we have a great golf cart tour. Nobody has to walk too far. It's a pretty incredible 1,300 acres between Kolb and Rita Road. Again, 30 years old. We have 2 million square feet of research, office, and labs. The top part of that picture is our solar zone. It's 223 acres. It is one of the largest testing and demonstration sites anywhere in the U.S. So we work with 8 companies that have 10 different technologies, and that's a partnership with Tucson Electric Power, which I might add is owned by a Canadian company. There's a lot of Waterloo meets Tucson moments in the last 5 years that I've been here. So we also are an economic hub as far as employment. We have 6,000 employees. Just to give you some scale, Raytheon has about 750,000 square feet. IBM, it's the old IBM campus out at, and it was in the middle of nowhere when it was built. And 30 years ago, the University of Arizona did a deal with IBM, a very creative deal, so that the university could then have a research and technology park. So 6,000 people, 2 million square feet, 1,300 acres. What you see right there is about 300 acres. So we have lots and lots of room to grow. We have a Vail school on site as well. We're looking, COVID was tough on all of us. Hey, how are you? Lots of friendly faces in here. There is, COVID was not easy on us. We have lots of good news stories. We're university economic development. We do foreign direct investment. We attract companies to this region. But, COVID was tough on us as well. Typically, historically, the vacancy rate was around 2 to 3%. Today, it's 10%. So, so we're still hustling. We're doing business development. We obviously work with all of our economic development partners like Sun Corridor, the Arizona Commerce Authority, but we work really, and obviously City of Tucson, Pima County. We all finish each other's sentences, and we're typically on their tours when new opportunities arise for this region. UA Tech Park at the Bridges. So I was courted down from Canada, from Waterloo, to come and talk to the president, this entire hiring committee, to consider taking over the leadership of the tech park. And, I always found Tucson was about 10 years behind Waterloo. Waterloo has a very sophisticated innovation ecosystem, so lots of startups, thousands of startups, and, a really strong university. And, really had that connection with Toronto. So Waterloo to Toronto is very similar to Tucson to Phoenix. And, that's a really incredible corridor that we should be building up. Everybody should rise up. So when I came down here, a lot of the right ingredients were in Tucson. So I think I met with everybody in the entire city and the university to get this job. And I still wasn't even sure if I wanted it. It was a conversation that we were having. But I got to tell you, the hardest interview I had was with Mayor Rothschild. But I had him eating out of my hand by the end of that hour. But he was tough. And so I ended up coming on board. I knew many of the team members already. There's only 600 people in the world that do what I do. It's a very narrow lane. And so, there's 170 in North America. I know everybody. That's just the way, our industry is. So I knew a lot of the world-class team that runs the tech park already. So that was a big plus for me. But when I came on board 5 years ago, I didn't quite understand the skepticism this community had about the Bridges project. We received $3 or $4 million to do the infrastructure, all the unsexy stuff under the ground to get it ready for development. But, because of many situations, just the tech park team was never able to pull the trigger. So it became a priority for me to the point where I publicly was going around and visiting with the neighborhoods that surround the Bridges, and many of them are economically challenged. And, they were a little hostile. I did not expect that because, Tucson is a very welcoming community. So when I met with them, and they were like, we've heard all this before. We've heard that it's coming. We've heard that it's coming for 12 years. We need you to make something happen. So, I shared with the team that this is our number one priority. So we reverse engineered it. And I told the community, the neighborhoods, I said, if you don't see something coming out of the ground, if you don't see steel coming out of the ground within a year, you can ask for my resignation. Patrick was a big part of that team that made that happen. I was 56 days late. As a team, we were 56 days late. We had a groundbreaking for the first building called the Refinery Building, which is the top one right there, last week of February. And what was it, 3 weeks later, COVID hit. But on that day, and I reminded them that they could ask for my resignation, but we actually delivered 2 buildings, the first 2 buildings, and we announced HSL was building the Marriott on the site as well. So, that was a really magical day for those neighborhoods to see something coming out of the ground. We also have the first research building. It's called the Mission Integration Lab. It's kind of a quirky looking building, but that's because it works on the payloads that are carried by atmospheric balloons. And so the university does a ton of research in that area, and that landed in the bridges as well. The next project is the Arizona. We broke ground, I think, in December on this one. A storm was chasing us because it was outdoors, obviously. But Arizona Public Media. They had a campaign on campus for donations, and I think they raised about, I think the target was 45 or 50 million, and it was from the basement to the bridges. They're actually in an old basement on campus. They're now going to be building a 50, 60,000 square foot building. Patrick's the lead on our team for that. And this is going to be a real community hub. It's amazing. The dream has come forward for Jack, who runs that, and so that's our 4th project. We're actually talking to somebody about a pretty major project, looking at probably. Let me go back here. We're not going to go back. It's not going back. But we've also started talking with the developer of the refinery building. He's looking at what his next building's going to look like. Probably larger than what the refinery building. We have another project that's fairly substantial for this community, and we're really excited. Can't share anything. It's super early days at this point, but again, a project that could be a very nice amenity for this community. On the startup side, the UA Center for Innovation, we call it UACI for short. Again, UACI celebrated its 20th anniversary last year. But shockingly, there had only ever been a handful of companies in our program at any given time. And Patrick, you correct me if I do anything wrong here. But I think that was the case. There was a handful of companies at any given time. And when I arrived here, I realized that we needed an executive director, and we needed to make some investments on building the team for the startups, because that's homegrown economic development. We have to build companies that are going to stay here and grow here. And again, it took us the very first week, the executive director that we hired, I go, here's your plane ticket. We're going to go to Toronto and we're going to go to Waterloo. And I want you to see and smell what a successful startup incubator and ecosystem looks like. Well, that's all it needed. The whole executive team went. And, there was a lot of low-hanging fruit that we could take advantage of here in Tucson. And over the last 2 years, we now have between 60 and 80 startup companies in our program, which is pretty incredible. We also developed our own roadmap. This is 28 buckets of knowledge that each startup needs to explore as a founder. And this is not a linear process. We do this evaluation when the startups come into our program, because every one of them is different. So we have 80 different roadmaps for 80 different startups. And it's really funny because this has now become almost a standard nationally. Our team gets on Zoom calls with their colleagues, and they see this stuck on their whiteboard or in their corkboard, because this has become a really, really powerful program, and we're being recognized nationally for this program that's been developed. So, and we don't charge people for it. You can download it. And so lots of our colleagues that play in that space are using this program. Something else that we do on the foreign direct investment, FDI side, as we call it, is we have a soft landing program. INBIA is the International Business Incubators Association. They have a certification for a soft landing location. There's only 36 around the world that have this. It's very, very difficult to obtain, and it is peer reviewed. And so we actually have a couple of businesses that we work with that throw a little bit of money into a pot every year. And we actually help pay for companies to come to Tucson, because we really believe that those opportunities need to be inbound, because once you land in Tucson and you experience Tucson, you understand Tucson. So, instead of doing outbound missions and trying to, show a map, of where Tucson is, and they're like, that's Phoenix, right? That's where ASU is. That's the kind of stuff we get. It's like, no, you need to come here. You need to spend 30 days in market. We program them for that entire 30 days. So they meet with Bobby Robbins, they meet with Mayor Regina Romero, they meet with accountants and lawyers, everybody they need to meet with, potential customers. And these are companies that have had success in their own market of probably $1 to $3 million, but they want to expand into the US. That's a real natural next step for a lot of companies. So these are not startups, but these are companies that have had success in their own markets. And then we also program them on the weekends because they also need to explore the softer side of Arizona. We send them, we take them up to Sedona, we take them to, football games, Tucson Roadrunners. My family was here last week. We're Canadian. What do? We go to the hockey game. So we also program them and show them where they would live and where their team would live. So this is a really robust program for us. Since I've been here, we've had 26 companies come and visit us. 10 of them have set up their headquarters, their U.S. headquarters in Tucson. So I think that's a pretty good success rate. And yeah, thank you. And all of this is teamwork. Nobody on our team does this individually. Our economic impact is watching for my signals because I did this presentation this morning and it was 40 minutes and I know I don't have 40 minutes, so I'm trying to rush through it. One of the other things on the soft landing, we actually had an interesting exercise recently with that. Maybe it's a year ago, but we had the State Department come to us and say, we've got 4 companies from the Ukraine, and we like to attract companies to stay here and grow here. This is a different exercise. They said, we would like you, they picked up these, I think it ended up being around 30 companies. They picked them up, they brought them to the US, they spread them out, and they said, we want them to continue to operate and be feasible as companies, and then when the conflict is over, we want them to go back. And continue to contribute to the prosperity of the Ukraine. And those are really special people that had a lot of different levels of stress that they were dealing with when they were here. But it was a really interesting exercise, and it wasn't focused on getting them here and keeping them here. So we do special things like that as well. We have a $2 billion a year impact on the state of Arizona. That is the Rita Road site only, not including our startups, which is pretty incredible. That bottom stat is the 30-year projection, and we never did that in our original economic impact assessment. But I noticed that SkySong in Phoenix, nice lanyard, ASU, they talk about their tech park on 30-year projections. So I went to my boss at the time, Betsy, and so I went to Betsy Cantwell, and I said, do you mind if I spend a couple of dollars and counter that with a 30-year projection? And she came from ASU, and she goes, damn right. She goes, you put that number out there, and let's see where we land against SkySong, and we actually beat it. So there's always that friendly competition. I actually love the people up in at ASU. Actually, they're doing great things up in their real estate group, and they're good friends. Here's the team. The only person that's not in there is Patrick in that photo. I don't know how he got out of that one, but we actually figured out that the team itself has 160 years of experience running research parks. It's one of the best in the U.S., best in Canada. I would actually stand them up against any science park in the world. And these are the people that are really passionate. I just went through the quarterly sort of sharing of anniversaries. We have people on our team that have been there for over 25 years, 20 years, 18 years, 17 years. Everybody on our team is passionate about what we do. And when we come to work and work as hard as we do, it's not for a paycheck. And I just had that conversation this morning. Everybody wants to make more money, but that's not why they're there. So it's because they're so passionate. And we've got a couple of other special projects. If I have time, I'll go over those with you. We're working with, we are the land grant university for the state, and Maricopa Agricultural Center. We have 2,100 acres in the city of Maricopa. And it is very, very underutilized for ag research because ag research is actually shrinking. It's becoming very data driven. You don't need to plant 50 acres anymore. You can plant 2 acres. So this 2,100 acres is, just being rented out to other farmers. So when COVID hit, there were 7 committees at the university that were struck. 6 of them were focused on finances, and I was asked to be part of the new opportunities group, and we were tasked with looking at new revenue streams to diversify the income of the university. And so we landed on, the team actually suggested the Maricopa Ag Center. We actually explored the Campbell farm as well, but that was off the table pretty quickly. And so what we've done is we got $400,000 from the EDA to go and do a feasibility study of what an innovation district would look on a part of that 2,100 acres. And it resulted in over 15 years accumulated income of $95 billion. So we're really excited about that project. We don't know what the future is. Oh, there's Hershey Kisses here. We don't know what the future of that project is right now because of the financial situation, but we are really excited about it. And then the last project that I'm going to talk about is come with me. You can stand here. My last project is the San Javier mine. Did everybody know that we have? You can't have the mic. You can't have the mic.
We're good friends. I want them to know that.
We actually have a working mine down outside of Sahuarita, and it's called the San Javier mine. As a Canadian, I did call it the San Xavier mine and was corrected immediately. So I've never done that again. But we are doing a feasibility study of what a corporate innovation hub looks like. So bringing a lot more corporates in. We have a meeting with the BLM tomorrow about expanding that facility. And and again, if you ever get the chance to tour it, it's amazing. I did protect the entrance of the mine while the guys went down 1,000 feet on ladders. So I was there to protect anybody. But yeah, I was there. But it's just a fascinating project to become a global hub, best in class for training, testing, demonstration. So those are some of the things that we're working on. And if anybody ever wants to get a tour, you've got the contact information. I'm on the website, and we'd be happy to tour you around. Awesome. Are there any questions?
I have a question. It's this accent thing. Did you say egg research or ag research?
Ag.
Spell it. A-G?
What? I don't. Let me get this out of the way. About. Apparently, when I say that, you can tell I'm Canadian. About. I don't hear it. I don't hear that. And I also brought some swag with me. I brought three pieces of swag, so we're going to have a little quiz. We're going to see who's listening.
So my question is Tech Lodge Arizona a project that is just housed at the bridges, or is it part of the whole innovation from the university side?
Yeah, so that's I call it the TTLO, that's the Tech Transfer and Licensing Office. They are housed, they moved from, I'm going to say 6th Street, what's it called? 6th? Over to the bridges because they were in a really, really old building. We report to the same senior vice president within research, innovation, and impact. That's the department, the research department. It used to be that Tech Parks and Tech Launch Arizona were together. They are separate now. Yeah, but we work very closely with them because about approximately 30% of our startups in our program have spun out of the university, and the rest come from the science and tech community.
Oh, Diane's got a question.
So why is the bridges separate from the university?
So it was due to a land swap. Help me out here, Patrick. It was due to a land swap, and so we have 65 acres within the 350-acre development of formerly the bridges. So it was a land swap that happened, what year? 2005.
With the startups I know in the past that places like Ventana were a startup and the university retained no intellectual rights to it. With the startups, do they actually have an ownership piece that generates revenue to the university?
So they actually have to license the innovation or the research or the product from the university if it came out of a university lab. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I think you implied that the Ukrainian companies are gone now. So does that mean they think that the disruption is over there, or are they still there on campus?
No, so they actually, the State Department only supported them for so long, and then they've somewhat dispersed throughout North America. Typically, if it's going to where relatives are and things like that. Yeah, some of them landed in Canada, some of them stayed in Arizona. I don't think anybody went to Mexico though. They were mostly service companies, tech. They were tech related and service companies. Yeah. Okay, are you ready for your quiz? You ready? So you have to go to the back and see this gentleman and pick out one of the 3 swag bags. Okay. What year, and it's whoever gets their hand up the fastest. I'm going to try and see everybody. What year was the tech park founded? 30 years
ago. That would be 1984.
Winner, 1994. The accountant in the group. I'm not going to make a UFA joke. One thing that's really important to know is that the tech park itself, there's only 3 of us that are employees of the university. The rest work for the 501c3. We are a nonprofit, and we are actually self-sufficient and fund all of the startup incubator activity for the university. So, that's all I have to say. What city in Canada am I from?
Waterloo.
Fastest hand. Yes. Got to put your hands up. So you get to go to the back and pick out a prize. And the last one, what is the name of the first building at the UA Tech Park at the Bridges? The what? Bingo. Awesome. Thank you very much, everyone.
You know, as Carol was talking, I couldn't help but reflect that she was introduced by an artist. So we have artists, we have technology, science and technology, we have medical, we have education here. We have such diversity of profession and people here. It's a delight to see. Thank you very much. And if her schedule will permit, I'm sure she'll hang around for a few minutes to answer any questions. I didn't ask her that, I just thought so. Now, what she might not know, and many of you do not know, and many of you do, that what we do is we ask the speaker to sign a book, which then goes into our Make Way for Books. Well, it's not ours, but it's a local 501c3 that we support, because we as Rotarians support literacy. This one is called ABC Technology Book. So I'll ask Carol to sign it. Now, David Lovett, who's a member of ours, but I can't see him, is president of Make Way for Books. Thanks, Carol. Now we have happy birthday time. We have, first of all, John Wong, who's been with us since February the 1st, 1983. His birthday is March the 15th. He's a retired orthopedic surgeon. As I said, we have medical people up here, as well as artists and technology people. What you do not know about John is that the first language he ever spoke was... Wrong! Hindi. Who'd have thunk?
We'll do it next year.
Next year.
If I'm around.
You'll be around.
Well, it has been a wonderful journey being in this club for 41 years. I've had the privilege of being a guy that sits at the back table. Also the privilege of being chairman of a couple of things, and president of this club, president of the club foundation, and chairman of the car show twice, because the first time I screwed it up.
We'll bring you back any day.
I have 2 checks, one for the Rotary Foundation International, and the other for Rotary Club of Tucson Foundation Endowment Fund for Scholarship.
And now we have Chris Edwards. Rather unexpectedly, he's here on the floor. You going to run up? You're coming up, coming up, coming up. Good on you.
Chris, run a little faster there, buddy.
Now. No. All right, so it's my birthday month. I thought I emailed it in, but I'm here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I celebrate all month long. There you go. And I just have one request. I'm going to donate $500 to the whatever Margaret wants it to go to.
President's Discretionary Fund.
Yes, exactly. No, but I'd like a request for you guys to do something for me for my birthday. I do the wave, and I want you to just raise your left hand as I go this way and your right hand as I go that way, so I can do a little video for my Facebook. Is that okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You guys can sing happy birthday if you want to. Thank you, Dan Guerre, for getting me into the club. I don't know how many years ago it was, but you guys are all my favorite people, my friends, and I think I've done business with at least 90% of you, and I'm here for you. Thank you so much. I love the Rotary Club.
I think you forgot to say what his business actually is. Tucson. Oh, well, all right then, fine. Everybody knows him. Thanks, Chris. That's lovely. An introduction of new member. We have John Wong introducing John Doerr, who's retired as a dentist. But John, take it away.
You're going to get more. I can't see. John Doerr was a member of this Rotary Club in a previous century, 1980 to 1993. He grew up in a very nice suburb of New York City, and he went to DePauw University in Indiana for his higher education. As a point of reference, you may like to know that DePauw is the school where Coach Dick Tomey, the winningest Wildcat football coach ever, went to school, and that's where he started his football career as a player and then went on to become a coach. You may also remember Barbara Kingsolver. She was a longtime resident of this community and a very famous author. She's also a graduate of DePauw. The highlight of John's undergraduate experience is the fact that he met a very attractive young lady from Arizona, and Patty later became his wife. She has survived 56 years of living with him. And today, she's right here. John did a 3-year tour in the U.S. Army and then went to one of the inner city colleges in Los Angeles for business school. After one semester, he decided dentistry would be a better career. So he did 2 years pre-dental and 4 years of dental school at that same inner city institution. You may recognize that school if I told you that the initials are USC.
Can't compete with Princeton.
John and his bride came to Tucson in 1976, and because he sought education in pioneering and complex dental surgical procedures, he's been a pioneer in dentistry here in this community, as well as devoting energy and time to community service worldwide, teaching in places as far away as Cambodia and Nepal. In Tucson, John has served on many professional and civic boards, including the Desert Museum and the Nature Conservancy. He and Patty have 2 daughters and 5 grandsons. Please welcome Patty Dorr and returning Rotarian John Dorr.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me back. A little lapse, but I'm certainly glad to be back. And over half of the people here were here when I first started with Rotary. I want to thank Bruce for being my mentor during this time. I'd also like to thank my father, who told me to give back to the community of which he did. And I learned that, and that's part of my motivation to come back to Rotary and some of the things I've done. I'd like to also thank Patty for encouraging me to rejoin Rotary, which has been a good thing. And lastly, John Wong, and let me just ask you something. How do you say no to John Wong? I'd like to give Margaret a check for the Tucson Rotary for scholarship.
Thank you. And we also have Bruce Tunsey, I believe. So hang around, John. Hang around. Bruce, run. Quick, quick, quick. John, do you and Patty, do you buy your glasses together? It looks like you're twins.
It's a very expensive process.
Well, I don't need this because John Wong told you everything about John Dorr. So, except for 1 or 2 things, he did travel extensively in Nepal and Cambodia. I think you did say that, teaching dental. But he was also the dental team doctor for the AAA hockey team here in Tucson. So I don't know if the college kids get in as many fights as the pros, but there may be some serious dental work there, yeah. So.
And I got paid on workman's comp.
But John was a very easy mentee because he's been here many years ago and knows a lot about Rotary, and so I was happy to work with him and proud to present him with his blue badge.
Thanks.
So give me that one and I'll give you, thank you.
I believe another photo is warranted.
Matt?
Yeah, Matt, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, Matt, get on it.
There we go. One more, like you're having fun. Yeah. Thanks. I'll take one of these.
An aside from somebody here said, you can Zoom. And now we have Vic Jacobs. Vic has been with us a long time. That's because I don't. Oh, I know, since 2003. She's the realtor with Tierra Antigua. She's was at the U of A, and she's introducing Mark. Where are you?
Hi. Okay, so Mark grew up in Northern California, and his first job was working as a janitor at his father's sheet metal fabrication shop. He eventually graduated with a double major in mathematics and economics from Pomona College and earned his PhD in economics at MIT. He currently teaches in the Eller School of Management and represents Eller at the U.S. Faculty Senate, where he serves as a parliamentarian. His private business is owning 2 apartment complexes in Tucson, and he was elected 3 times to the governing board of TUSD School District. He served 4 times as the board president. In this position, It led to many adventures, including having protesters at his house, in his classroom, and blocking a board member by chaining themselves into a board member's seat. He still has some connections to TUSD because two of his children, one is here today, Marie, go to TUSD. He's currently the project chair at the ad hoc faculty committee at the U of A, and he works on general education issues, including the major project of implementing the Board of Regents' recent mandate to include civil and service discourse into the general education program. He hopes to speak to us about that project someday. Mark was a member of the Old Pueblo Rotary Club, but they changed their time, so that's why we got him. Mark Stegelman.
She's silly. We got him because we're the better club.
Thank you. The coach last week said that he liked Rotary because it's full of people who want to make things better, and I agree with that. My old club was full of people like that, and I had to come over here for the reasons Vicki said, and I'm glad to be here with even slightly more people like that, and following in the distinguished footsteps of Dan Calm. I didn't know what happened when he disappeared from our club, and then when I came here, I found out. Marie agreed to come here today to hold my hand in case I got nervous. And as Vicki said, I am working hard. I'm the head of a cross-college committee working on the project in part of trying to implement civics education under the Regents' mandate and civil discourse at U of A. And that's a very interesting project, and I'd love to talk to you about it sometime. I apologize, I've been called back to work, and so I'm going to be very rudely leaving a little bit early, and I'm sorry for that. Marie, do you want to say anything? No, okay. All right. That was unscripted. Thank you very much.
Okay. Quick. Time for a photo, though. A photo. Oh. Vicki, I think you're meant to be here as well.
Whoa. Nice. That's the cutest. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there.
Good luck. Thank you. Mark, here you go.
Thank you so much.
Take that with you, and you got some chocolates for her.
Good.
Good on you.
Okay, we'll get a couple more.
Oh. The winner of the prize is going to, rapidly depleting store of chocolates here. But now it's time for Paul Harris' presentation. And we have Shah Harris. Shah has been with us for many, many years. She's absolutely key to this club. And she's going to present a Paul Harris to Pam Alexander.
Paul Harris once said, quote, "Perhaps dreaming is not so bad if one dreams good dreams and makes them come true," unquote. In Rotary, we make dreams a reality through extraordinary projects and activities here at home and around the world. These projects are possible through the generous support of Rotarians and friends of our International Foundation and the work of Rotary clubs like ours around the world. It is my honor to introduce our two newest Paul Harris Fellow recipients who are wearing their new pins. Pam Alexander is receiving her Paul Harris Fellow. Born in Tennessee, she received her BA from Vanderbilt University. A Rotarian for over 5 years, Pam first joined the Rotary Club of Aspen in Colorado before joining our club in September of last year. Her classification is Public Relations High Tech. She is the founder and CEO of Alexander Communications, a technology-focused public relations firm acquired by WPP to merge with Ogilvy Public Relations. She is also a limited partner in Next Ventures, Science Incorporated, Gather Ventures, and Outside Media, and consults with digital health and media companies. Previously active on nonprofit boards in Atlanta and Aspen, Pam continues her community service here in Tucson on the board of the Tucson Boys and Girls Clubs and as the co-founder of Altour Bikes for Change to equip underserved Tucson youth with bicycles. She also founded Pace Ranch, a nonprofit athlete training facility which funds Tucson youth development programs, including Tucson Boys and Girls Clubs and now Tour Bikes for Change. When asked why she supports Rotary, Pam replies, quote, "Rotary is the most engaged and inspiring community leadership organization with members who value service." Diana Medeiros is receiving her Paul Harris Fellow +1. Raised in New Jersey in an apartment connected to her dad's veterinarian hospital, Diana decided early she could never be a vet. She saw the horror of animals who were hit by cars or neglected or abused, thus she pursued a different direction. After graduating from Rutgers University, she moved to Tucson to earn her graduate degree from the University of Arizona in sports and went on to promote national sporting events for the next 18 years. In 1993, a university painting trip to Greece changed her life, and 3 years later, she sold her marketing company to become a full-time artist. Shortly after that, she founded Medeiros Gallery, which will celebrate its 25th anniversary this year. She has been named Tucson's Best Artist 9 times and has been recognized for her generosity to many charitable organizations. In conjunction with the grand opening of the gallery, Diana founded the nonprofit Art for Animals. Her foundation has raised more than $200,000 for animals in need. She finally added, "I finally found a way I could help the animals." Diana joined our club in 2021 and jumped right in, donating a $5,000 painting to our centennial celebration. The following year, she volunteered to head up our car show retail booth, designed new types of clothing and a popular tote bag for car show entrants. She was elected to our board of directors in 2023 and has successfully chaired our community service projects. When asked why she supports Rotary, Diana responds, "I am proud to be a part of an organization that has both local and worldwide impact. It demonstrates that when individual efforts are combined, we can change the world. And getting to know the amazing people in the club has been extremely rewarding. Thank you, sponsor Mark Irvin and mentor Scott Vaughn. I'm grateful to you both." Will you please join me in thanking and congratulating Pam and Diana, our newest Paul Harris Fellows.
Well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Thank you.
My apologies, Diana. I didn't mean to miss you when I mentioned that the Paul Harrises were being awarded. And now we have our good friend. I saw him walking up, Dan Kahn.
All right, so today's raffle is one of a $80 small pot. So if I call your ticket, you win $80. And then we draw a card. If we get the king of clubs, you win the big pot, which is $600. Clear as mud? There we go. All right. You want to pick a ticket?
There's one on the bottom. How do you do it?
All right, so the ticket is 447. 1. Rowdy Table, give me a drum roll. Come on, Rowdy Table. Just Dan. 447 127. Hey, there we go. All right, now we'll draw a card. It was fixed? I didn't win. There we go. Oh, no. 4 of diamonds. You get the small pot, but there you go.
And now we come to announcements. The first announcement being that you will find the event projects, etc., on your tables. So please, to demonstrate to me that you know what we're talking about, pick them up and wave them. All right, okay. That saves us time each week. Fabulous. The next one is a project dear to my heart. As you know, we don't meet on the second Wednesdays of every month. Instead, we do something exciting, interesting, and invigorating. And this time is going to be very bright. So the Ignite Museum, that's going to be next week, started at 11:30. And you'll also have the opportunity to learn how to make a piece of neon. So please sign up on the website. and join me there next week. It's a Tucson. A Tucson original is the only word I can think of, and I really dearly want to keep the place alive. It's a great museum. Please join me there. It's good. Next is we need hosts for home hospitality. So please let us know if and when you can actually host some other Rotarians to your house in whichever way you wish to do it. Mine will probably be out on the front lawn, down near the swimming pool, just walking around. But anyway, so there will be a sign on the website, I believe, and you'll sign up there. But we are looking for home hospitality hosts. The next one, I was going to talk about the Nogales trip, but I do believe that has been cancelled. So we'll ignore that for a minute. We have next Vicky Jacobs coming up back again with something you've all been waiting to hear, and that is the winner of the March Madness mania that we've been having.
Hi. Okay, I'm excited. So, the person who started this all was Mitch. All right. Mitch asked me to do this over a year ago. So, and I wanted to do it in January. So, Mitch, I got you a bottle of wine. Nobody knows how hard Mitch works besides Dorina and I think. All right, so here you go, Mitch. And Dorina, I got you a bouquet of flowers. Alrighty. So she's going to have to work for months after this. Alrighty. So we started with 8 teams. And now for the individual who brought in the most new members. And the winner is... Alrighty, and next up is the team that brought in the most new members. And the winner is... So it's Jonathan Walkup, SEAL team number 6. And Wally is here. And if... Wally left? Oh, here's Wally. All right. Okay. Oh, you want to say something about it?
Good. Jonathan will love it.
All righty. So then we have the championship. All righty. So the team captain that brought in the most members and points. And it's between the Talking Heads, Doug Lowell and Rich Kinney's team, versus the Jazz Cats, Brandy Blackman's team. And the winner is... the Jazz Cats. So if Bobby and Alan would come up, Bobby Larson. Brandy's not here today, so if you guys... Bobby's team brought in 4 members in the last 2 weeks. All right. Alrighty. And I think that... Oh, I just wanted to show everybody the Talking Heads they did so many projects to try to motivate members that they even did a team hat with everybody's picture on it. So this is the Talking Heads team hat. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
Well done, everybody. And from stats from yesterday, I heard that our club is increasing its membership at the moment by about 10%, which is pretty darn good. It's way above the average.
I just want to say one thing. So, Team 4, 6, 5, and 7, home hospitality, is at George Larson's garage. We do not have the date yet, but it will be that week.
Okay, George Larson's garage. Fabulous. Yeah, thank you very George Larson's garage. I can't say it otherwise. So. And now we have Don Rieger. He's got a Happy Jackson.
Happy Jackson's. Inflation is decreasing the time as the clock kicks away. So
Exactly.
Basically, I want to announce the 25th Annual Good Scout Awards Luncheon. Past honorees do include one of our own, Mark Irvin, who's not here today. This year, we're honoring Mike Goodwin with Climatech and Ryan George of Simpleview. If you don't know Simpleview, just go to visit Tucson.com and you'll see what that company does. And they are a global company. We're going to honor them right here at TCC. So you know the food's going to be good. And you can sign up on the website or catch that QR code, or they're on your table as well. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you. Now, we don't have any chat GPT this week, so I'm determined to give you a joke instead. Dot. A chicken crossing the road is poultry in motion. A dentist and a manicurist married. They fought tooth and nail. And a grenade thrown into a kitchen in France would result in linoleum blown apart. A grenade thrown into a kitchen in France will result in linoleum blown apart. All right, okay, fine. Better than ChatGPT any day. Thank you, everybody. And see, you're still laughing and I can't even get my words out. All right. Thank you, everybody here and there, for coming today, and I do hope you enjoyed the meeting. Welcome to all our guests, including some that I haven't seen for a while, Candy, and I haven't seen you for a while, so it's glad to see your faces. Wonderful. Love it. Please, what? You said something. Oh, well, all right, then fine. You must have Tourette's. Please make a donation to our UA and Pima Community College scholarship students. The blue cups are on your table as we continue to support our scholars. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to John and to Chris. Welcome to the club and congrats on your blue badge, John Doerr. Welcome to the club, Mark. Congratulations to Pam and Diana on your Paul Harris's. Now, next week, don't forget, don't turn up here and hope to find us, because you won't. We'll be at the Ignite Museum. Sign up, and that's it for the day, folks. We're going to have a toast and adjourn from my wonderful friend, Dan.
Please raise a glass. May you have continued health, happiness, and prosperity. Hear, hear.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
I want to remind you that when you give the book to the